Microtransactions are ruining gaming. Now, this is something probably no one has ever heard in their lives.
Transactions killed gaming in all caps. I mean, it's got 200 fucking views. It's a self-promo, bro. It's gotta be a self-promo. All right, you
Huh?
know what? You want me to watch your self-promo video? I'm gonna be harsh on this one. So
Ooh.
you're gonna get a fucking reality check.
Transactions killed gaming. You see, in the
Okay.
early days of gaming, you used to be able to purchase a brand new
Number one. All right, let's go ahead and just start. So if you look at every single observable graph and metric, gaming is becoming more popular. So there is, this is, I would say this is a bit of an argument against the idea that gaming is being killed.
Since Asmongold is gonna be harsh on him, let me be harsh on Asmongold, considering we're talking about a person that can't read graphs for the most part ever, even if it's a singular line. And I'm not kidding. Look it up. I have a 30-minute video about that. In any case, gaming becoming more popular and being played by more people has absolutely literal no correlation with what that person said previously. Gaming can become worse, but can be played by more people just because the times change. Hell, the easiest and honestly dumbest argument for this, why the graph of gaming is going up and is becoming more popular, is because there are more people being born in the world. You know, the population is going up, which means that, well, the amount of people who play gaming is going up. It's becoming a mainstream thing. Everyone knows what's gaming, so the graph is gonna go up. You know, gaming can easily be, in a worse position now than it was 10 or 20 years ago. Admittedly, that's arguable. And it can have absolutely no correlation with the fact that there are more people that play video games now.
I would say this is a bit of an argument against the idea that gaming is being killed.
game and pop that bad boy in the disc tray and begin your descension into degeneracy. Nowadays, when you buy a new game, you might as well buy some lube, and while your 60 gigabyte game is downloading,
Sea
you
of
can go ahead and
Thieves.
begin lubing up
Bro,
your app.
that fucking, what's it called? Star Wars game is 120 gigs.
I mean, that's
believe
normal
that?
nowadays.
120 gigabytes. 60 gigabytes for the game, 60 gigabytes for the Bitcoin farming devices that
Bitcoin.
sends information back to China.
Asshole for maximum efficiency in
That's
preparation of being fucked by whatever game
Oh, yeah,
company
there
you
we go.
purchased from. In my view, most AAA companies in many ways have really lost their touch in terms of video game creation. It's a
I think that's definitely true, and I actually don't think it's because of the companies. It's because these
Oh, yeah, that's definitely... I don't think a lot of people are gonna argue with that.
games take so long to make. So, like, imagine, like, most
Okay, I do not agree with that, okay? Games do not take as long as they should to make, honestly. Let's face it, when was the last AAA game that released and it wasn't a buggy mess because the developers didn't have enough time to finish it, polish it off, and do all of that stuff, okay? AAA games are being rushed out a year or two before they are actually done. It's absolutely abysmal. Day one patch is, an expectancy nowadays.
AAA games take like 3 to 5 years to make, sometimes more, occasionally less. How the fuck can you make a game that's like that caters to the audience 4 years in advance, right? I mean, like, people's interests change so fast. They change all the time, right? You have people that really like BRs. Like, imagine if you started making
True.
a BR in 2020, whenever Fortnite was huge, Apex was huge, Warzone was just completely popping off, PUBG Mobile was still really popular.
Isn't it
All of these
popular
games are
in
really,
Japan,
really popular.
though?
And now your Battle Royale comes out today, and people are fucking, like, there's already been so many of them that, like, everybody's just reinventing the wheel over and over.
I mean,
You see what
true.
I'm saying? It's like, yeah, it tried to be Destiny, even after it's been out for years. Exactly. And like, that's just how it goes. So, like, the reason why AAA gaming is dying is, number one, because The time that it takes them to ship a game makes them non-competitive in the market, number one.
Well, if everyone's going for the Gold Rush ticket, then there are some downsides to it, you know? It's true. But then again, how many games did release in the PUBG craze? Because let's be real. Fortnite Battle Royale dominated literally everything in the gaming sphere for more than 4 years at this point, I think.
Number two, the amount of money it takes for them to make the game forces them to use microtransactions to offset the cost. So they can't charge $90 for a video game, which would make it profitable on its own because gamers won't pay that much money. Fuck, they don't even want to pay $70. People still want to pay $50 or $60, and most people even then are waiting for it to go on sale, or they're pirating it. So you can't really increase the box cost. You have like an ever-increasing cost of living.
I mean, the box cost has gone up. I'm pretty sure the box cost has gone up, right?
You have an increasing cost of salaries, of costing the business, like everything. Like everything is going up in price. Inflation is fucking, you know, it's doing what it does. And meanwhile, you've got to keep the same price, and you've got this massive studio with all these people.
Okay.
So how the fuck do you make money?
How did studios succeed in doing this before, you know? How does Dark Souls succeed? I don't know. It's a take, but, you know, we have examples of it succeeding, and pretty easily, in fact.
That's what's happening. I think AAA studios are becoming too big to succeed. That's what I think's happening. I actually think that it's whenever you break it down. Yeah, sure, it's greed. Sure. But, like, there's also 10 other reasons that make just as much sense.
Shame whenever I see a new video game being teased. I have to worry about whether or not some sort of predatory loot box system has been baked into the progression system of the game, therefore ruining the whole experience and completely shitting on your hopes and dreams.
Classic
and the worst
argument.
part about it is the fact that you basically threw your money down the shitter. Even if the microtransactions are only cosmetic items, it still leaves a bad taste in my mouth from the fact that the items...
I don't want to have, like, I mean, I wish I could just buy a game for $100 and it's just a game.
You're not alone there, dude.
I don't need some fucking continuous thing. Just make it kind of like semi-open source. Make it like, I mean, Dark Souls 3 is such a great fucking example, right? Elden Ring is such a great fucking example. I didn't talk to you guys about this today. And I didn't put up my title or anything, but I downloaded the Convergence mod for Elden Ring today.
Ooh.
And I plan on playing that. I don't know if I'm going to play it today, but I downloaded it, I got it started, I got it running, it's going, right? So I'm getting to play a game that I bought, was it fucking last year or some shit? I bought this game last year, and I love this game, and now somebody's making a mod of it,
nice.
And I can enjoy it in a totally new way.
Yeah,
I went back,
that's cool.
I played, I think I played, I don't think I played the Hollowed mod in Dark Souls 3. I know I played the fuck out of Cinders. I beat that whole thing. I played Daughters of Ash. I think I played part of the Convergence mod in Dark Souls 3. And I think I played another one that I just can't remember right now.
Yeah.
And maybe I...
Recently, one of the coolest things I saw about mods is Fallout 4. And a couple of mods that, oh, wow, it's like a new game. And that's so cool about mods, because there's gonna be some dude who just literally has nothing better to do with his life than completely recreate the experience of your favorite game. And that's amazing.
I didn't. I don't know, but I know I played those 3. Anyway, that was just like, it's continuous new content for me.
Yep.
I'm always playing something and enjoying something new. And that's what I want. Like, as a gamer, that is my bis. Is Elden Ring that can be modded and people can make more content for it. And whenever the developers want to make more content, we get a DLC and I pay 40, 20, 30, however much money for the DLC. That's what I want.
That's good.
Like, as a player.
Yep,
The
that's
problem
reasonable.
is that the truth is most people don't have $100 of disposable income. Right? Like, most people can't just drop a fucking Benjamin like that. That's just a fact. They don't have that much fucking money. So, you know, you have like an audience of people that are a lot younger, and because...
If an American cannot scratch up $100, damn. You know, You know, you better move to that 15 an hour state, my boy. You know, that's what you should do. Because for Americans, you know, if your average low end is like 2 or 3K, well, let's face it, you're already living in poverty and dirt, so you might as well buy the game, honestly, you know?
Because they're a lot younger, they're not able to really afford it, and then you have older people who don't have as much time to play video games, so the comparative value of that money is minimized because they're not going to play it as much. $100 is a really prohibitive price point. That's a lot of money, man. So what happens? Well, what happens is you get free-to-play games. So as much as people don't like free-to-play games, and I know a lot of you guys feel the same.
That's not what happens. Free-to-play games have been proven to make enormously more money than things with box prices. Because there are, yeah, it's true, there are actually people, without jokes or anything, who can't afford the $100 to buy a game, or at least they need to, like, wait a month or two to buy it. But, game developers just understand free-to-play games with microtransactions make far, 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 far more money than anything else. So that's why they do it.
Same way that I do. You wish that they could just make, you know, a game like Elden Ring, you pay a premium box cost for it, and that's it. You know, you don't need a bunch of live service things. You don't need 7 different battle passes. The modders will create that content for you, and everybody's happy. That's all I want.
Yeah,
but
good.
It's just, the truth is that we're not, and I think that, honestly, I think that we are the single-digit minority of gamers that will actually pay that much money to play a new game. Like, if I was going to actually, and like, again, I am totally fucking speaking out of my ass. This is just this is a vibe check, okay? But my vibe check, like, value of this, I think probably like 3 to 5% of gamers would be willing to pay an extremely high 5% box cost for a video game to avoid microtransactions.
Okay, I did not understand what he means.
If it was even that much.
What is a 5% box?
So
Whatever. I did not understand
only acquirable through real-life payment are going to look the coolest compared to whatever you can unlock just by playing the game.
Do you remember back in the day with like Halo 3 where you had somebody that had the Hayabasa armor? Or you had like in Halo 2 where you would fucking queue in and you'd do Team Slayer, or like fucking like you do like 2v2 or some shit like that.
Nope.
And like you would queue into somebody and they would have like the moon.
Nope.
Or they'd have the eclipse thing.
Nope.
Or some shit like that. And it was like, oh my god. Right? Oh my god, I'm about to queue into a cheater. But, you know, it meant something, right? That it mattered so much.
And this is done on purpose, of course, to incentivize you into giving in.
No, it wasn't. Halo 2. Halo 2 had a 1 to 50 ladder where, like, I remember there was, like, points on it. And at, like, I think level 40, level 39, you got 4 points and it was red. And then at 43 or 44, your number would change into a picture.
Picture?
After that, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, guys, bro, I was there 3,000 years ago.
4,000 at this rate.
Bro, y'all try to correct me on something you probably weren't even born then.
Paying with your hard-earned cash. Imagine if in Halo 3, the recon helmet was behind a paywall, instead of personally being given to you by the Bungie developers if you beat them in a multiplayer match. The only exception is if the game is completely free. This is the only time this doesn't bother me as much. However, not always. Clash of Clans, a free game that I played for about 3 weeks, loves to...
Clash of Clans being called free? Okay, we're in the next level zone now.
Incentivize you into paying to progress. Even as a teenager, I knew this was complete bullshit, and so I quit playing. To be fair though, it is primarily a mobile game, so it sort of gets off the hook. But then there's
and you can see how people, and this is why they do it then. Even this guy who makes a video about how microtransactions killed gaming has no problem making an exception for free-to-play games and having microtransactions. And the truth is that a lot of these really high profitability games are...
I feel like he made a pretty good distinction here that he said, Okay, Halo's different because you get skins. They don't affect your impact of your play style. They don't do any of that. But in Clash of Clans is just a very typical mobile game where you get easy and good progression for, like, I don't know, the first 5 hours of your experience, and then you slowly start to drip in the money to keep that pace up. And he said, okay, skins, Fortnite, okay, that's fine, that's good, okay? It doesn't change the game, it doesn't change anything. But when it's actually buying power, then it's a serious problem. I think he made that distinction pretty well.
Are free to play. Like, Honkai Star Rail made $50 million selling a picture of a girl with blue hair.
On
That's
point.
a pretty good fucking overhead. I mean, really, I think she has purple hair, actually. So, yeah, and they'll probably do it again with a guy that has gray or white hair. It is what it is.
True.
So, yeah, I mean,
True.
people are just okay with it, and that's why more companies are adopting this model.
Some games that are so unapologetically predatory that it's downright insulting. GTA 5 is a major offender of this to this
True.
day. That game is such a scam, even their most dedicated players are starting to call out Rockstar for milking their player base.
Yeah, but like nobody really gives a shit because whenever GTA 6 comes out, everybody's going to play it again and spend the money on the microtransactions immediately. Like, that's really the bottom line. Like, that's really what's going to happen.
Get me wrong, I love playing every now and then, but you can bet your ass you won't catch me buying a shark card. And, well, to tell you the truth, I don't really need to anyway, because I exploited the fuck out of the money glitches when they were around. So now I have all the cool shit, and I didn't even have to spend a penny. Fuck you, Rockstar. Diablo Immortal suffers the same fate
Watch they go and ban his account after this.
as well, unfortunately. Albeit a game I've never played before, but it only
Rockstar can't fix basic bugs that impact gameplay. No, they're not doing that.
takes one Google search to figure out if I want to play it or
Make no
not.
mistake.
This is 800% extra value?
Damn right it is.
I'd be losing money if I didn't buy this.
Supposedly
Yep.
in that game, it takes upward of $100,000.
Oh, remember
to
this
get to
guy,
max
JT?
level. Yeah, fuck that.
Good
No
times.
thanks. Even in Wizard 101.
God, bro, like, I remember the Diablo Immortal streams were so fucking good.
Diablo Immortal, that was a
A
game.
game I'm sure most of you have played.
Diablo, tell me if your experience of Diablo Immortal is similar to mine. I played it. I kind of liked it. I played it for 3 hours. I kind of liked it. I closed the game. Next day I played it for half an hour. I still kind of liked it. Wasn't the first experience in the world. Nothing predatory happening just yet. And then I just never played it again. Then I literally, I just never played it again. Was that also your experience? Because that was my Diablo Immortal experience.
Or at least heard about in your childhood, is completely infested with microtransactions. That includes legitimate gambling with packs. Pretty much loot boxes for very
Oh yeah, they actually are exactly
Good
loot boxes.
stuff.
Wow, okay.
low chances of getting items that are sometimes the best at certain levels.
Yeah,
What's
sure.
even more gross is the fact that this game is marketed as a children's game.
Of
that's
course-
why
of course
that's why
it
they have
is.
gambling, is they get kids addicted to gambling early. That way, whenever they get older, they'll do more gambling.
Yeah,
'Cause
kids
it's
don't
normalized.
care.
That's the whole point. Yeah, and this is what I was saying before, right? Is like, this guy said whenever he was a teenager, Clash of Clans was out, so he's probably like, what, 20, like lower 20s? So, like, imagine what somebody in 10 years is going to say about this, right? They'll have grown up with this, and they'll have never known what it was like to earn the, like what he said, like the recon armor in Halo 3. They'll never know what it meant to have like a Thunder Fury and
I don't remember which video, but I know this is something someone else said. I know that. I have seen the video. This is word for word that argument.
vanilla WoW. They won't have any idea.
Gambling practices are heavily promoted, even if only adults are mostly playing nowadays, which the devs actually argue, saying lots of children are still playing. Either way, this is an irrelevant point. Having to gamble with real-life money to get some of the best items in a video game is complete bullshit.
Yep.
Yeah, it is complete bullshit, but like, just because it's bullshit doesn't mean they're gonna stop doing it, right? I mean, like,
Hey, as long
yeah,
as someone
is
buys
bullshit.
it.
But there are enough gamers out there that don't give a fuck. And if they did give a fuck, then they would stop doing it.
I mean, the brutal reality of that is, if you don't, if your income is not like the top 30%, then you care about this stuff. If your income is in the high range and you can spend 100, 200, or $300 on your favorite, game, buy to win, pay to win power, you actually don't see a problem with it. This is all a matter of perspective, also.
Bullshit makes money, yeah. Brave take. I mean, there it is.
And point. And the developers are very aware of this, but the problem is no one plays it, and it is a very dead game compared to most MMOs. So this shady bullshit goes under the radar due to not enough players bitching about it. Trust me, I know.
Huh.
I don't know about that. I mean, the guy just talked about Grand Theft Auto, and like whenever I hear about people talking about Grand Theft Auto, there's not people that are mad about like the GTA Online. Most people don't give a fuck about it. So
Even though
I
it's
think the
huge.
majority of cases, it doesn't even really matter, even if it is a big game.
I used to stream it on Twitch
Honkai
pretty
Star
frequently.
Rail.
Beyond the games we've already discussed here, there are a handful of game franchises that were absolutely decimated
Oh, the
by the introduction
aim!
of microtransactions. Most notably, at least to me, was Dead Space, Halo,
Oh.
and of course, probably the most obvious coming into this video, Star Wars Battlefront.
No,
These
Well,
games-
Star
didn't they
Wars
push
was
back
horrible.
on Star Wars Battlefront? I remember that. Like Halo, I never played Halo 5.
Same.
Like, yeah, people were.
Star Wars, someone did the math that pay to win crap is it is impossible. If you're not paying to winning in Battlefront, you will never get the things, right? It will take you literally 10,000 hours to unlock something in that game if you are not paying to win.
upset enough about that to where they went back on it for a bit.
In my eyes, were the major red flags in the buildup of increasingly shittier and more predatory games each year. Dead Space 3 was completely ruined, with materials being purchasable with real-world money. Not to
True.
mention, the game sucked the fattest ass. Halo 5 suffered from the same problems, unfortunately, but to a larger degree. Not only was the game dog shit, but it also managed to shoehorn in a shitty loot box system, completely eroding the little trust Halo fans had with
Nice.
343 at that time.
Well, now it's even less. And yeah, I think he's right. I think that also some of the fine print in what he just said is the two games are, I mean, they're just garbage,
The hell's that sound?
right? They're straight up garbage games. Even if you didn't have this problem, they would still be bad games.
What is that
That's
whew, whew sound?
And then we have this piece of shit. The straw that broke the camel's back.
That's a grain.
Oh yes, the game is very much fun to play now, and a lot of the past problems have been fixed. But boy oh boy, back in 2017, this game was the embodiment of what AAA gaming had become. For those that don't know, when Star Wars Battlefront 2 was first released, it was quickly discovered it had broken all of the
Thou shalt not create shitty games. Thou shalt not implement microtransactions. Thou shalt be granted anime waifus. There is no guy. Is there any game that has anime waifus and doesn't have microtransactions?
No. No. Well, single-player games maybe. Persona.
Like I don't
Persona
think
5
so,
people are
right? I
saying.
mean, Code Vein, does it not have I don't know.
Persona 5, yeah, that
I
doesn't.
feel like I feel like these kind of go hand in hand.
cardinal sins of gaming. Not only did it introduce loot boxes to Star Wars Battlefront, but it had directly tied progression and upgrades to these newly monetized loot boxes, meaning the more money you spent, the better you would be at the game.
Yep.
Wow, what a surprise! And again, I don't
It was
think that's
direct
why
power.
the game died. I don't think that's why people were mad about the game. Like again, you can look at Genshin Impact, you can look at Honkai Star Rail, you can look at I don't know, like any.
That's not the same. I think Asmongold is completely missing the point here. Or maybe he doesn't know it. No, I think he does know about Battlefront. in Battlefront, the thing was, the simple truth of the matter was, if you are paying money, you are literally, when you added up everything, like something like 25 to 50% stronger than a person who is not paying money. That means, if you are going in a PvP scenario, and let's face it, the game is literally just PvP, someone who is paying is gonna always win against you. Because the chances that you can overcome that 50% power gap of pay to win with skill, minuscule. And that's why people hate it, because it's pretty clear. Well, I can't just do anything, because here we have Mr. Moneybags, who is 50% stronger than me and everyone else, because he paid to win. But you don't have the same thing in Genshin, right? Because it's mostly a single player experience, you know? You can't just meet people who are gonna pound you and then teabag you.
A popular game that has microtransactions. I mean, fuck, like Valorant has it, like all these games have microtransactions. People just don't give a fuck if the game is good. They will make excuses for it if the game is good. But if the game...
Yeah, I really feel he's completely missing the point, and this is like such an easy point.
Game is bad, then...
Am I missing the point here, or is he missing the point? I don't know. Yeah, people are gonna ignore microtransactions if the game is good. But again, if someone can... Like Diablo Immortal. Yeah. People who bought power were blatantly just farming the people who did not buy power in PvP arenas. You know? And people complain about it.
Then it's a non-starter. Like, having microtransactions make a bad game worse, but it doesn't make a bad game good.
Gamers did not like this, no. And
Yeah,
so,
they
for
were
the very
upset.
first time in history, gamers rose from their moms' basements to protest this new form of tyranny. Thankfully,
Insane.
after all the backlash, EA was brutally and publicly executed on the internet. Rightly so, of course.
US
Holy
government?
shit, it was fucking glorious. Even the government...
I don't think it's really that glorious. I mean, like, yeah, they stopped doing it in this one game. Like, who cares? They're just gonna do it in another game.
True. Well, they are
Like,
already
there's like
doing it
5,000
everywhere.
games coming out, and like one of them doesn't have it. I mean, I'm sorry, but like that doesn't necessarily. I don't feel like a winner at the end of this.
FIFA. Yeah.
stepped in with legal action, causing so many
FIFA.
memes to be born.
Do you consider loot boxes to be an ethical feature?
Yes. Say yes.
Kerry?
Well, first, we don't call them loot boxes. I think that was
Whatever
some,
term
but-
you wish to apply
yeah,
to them,
so-
do you
so-
consider them ethical?
So what we look at as surprise mechanics.
Surprise mechanic,
but I
the
think
classic.
How to move some initiative forward.
Oh, it's a
Ask yourself
classic.
this question first. Is this good for the player? Is this good for the player? Is this good for the player? Is this good for
Yeah,
the player? Is this
probably.
Good for the player? Is
Yeah.
this good for the player? Is this good for the player?
Yeah.
Is this good for the player?
It was so satisfying to watch one of the most depraved corporate gaming companies get publicly scalded in front of millions.
But who cares? It didn't change anything.
True. Yeah, I don't understand these
Am I the only
scaldings.
person that's like, I don't want to seem like a doomer, but like it doesn't really matter.
Yeah. As long as these companies are not like their executives get summoned in front of Congress or whatever to answer a bunch of questions from given by people who don't even know what gaming is, because they're pretty much the same as dinosaurs at this point, you know? So what? They don't know what a loot box is. You can literally tell them a loot box is a magical crate carried over by carrier pigeons, and there you have it. Problem solved. They don't care. As long as you don't actually, like, you know, put some kind of sanctions against them, you know, like, pay money type of things, where they are forced to pay fines, nothing's gonna change. That's true.
It's like, yeah, I like the outcome is still the same.
It was beautiful. But to be honest with you, For me to say that it was
Is that a
beautiful
peach?
is kind of copium, because the truth
this
is
one-
I
yeah.
wanted all 3 of these games to succeed. I would much rather have them be massive hits rather than getting what we got. I adore these franchises, and I still do, but they have lost their way. It seems the Dead Space franchise has mostly bounced back and recovered with the Dead Space remake. I can't say the same for the other 2 games, and the
Oof.
betrayal is still very fresh in my memory. I could mention 100 other games that had the same
Yeah.
downfall,
Fallout
but then this video
76.
would be 2
Oof.
hours long.
Anthem.
So now that I've
Dude, Anthem just got deleted. Wow.
bitched for about 5 minutes, let's really get down to fucking business. This is the big
Okay.
kicker. This is the reason we are all here.
Okay.
How
Okay.
the fuck did this happen? Why is gaming so ass nowadays? And how did we land our
I feel like I feel like this is gonna be some kind of like call to action.
Hopefully
ourselves
not.
in this situation? Well, I'll tell you. The problem is you. That's right. You
Yep.
and me. As it happens,
He
some
got that
human
right.
beings aren't as smart as others. And unfortunately,
Uh-huh.
we've all supported predatory microtransactions one way or another, whether we like it or not. And the
That's true.
unfortunate reality is, predatory microtransactions will always exist within video games. And do you know why? Because no matter if you, your family, and all of your friends, even your fucking dog, all stop supporting predatory games
Somebody
and stop
else
buying their
won't.
microtransactions, some stupid ass
Yeah.
little pussy bitch will quadruple what you would have spent just so he
Yep.
can be better in a video game.
True. There
it
Or
is.
some lonely coomer dumbass will continue buying stupid ass thirsty phone games.
Nice.
Ladies and gentlemen, the only way to push back against this insanity is to speak with your wallet. But the
Average
reality
Nikkei
is
enjoyer.
we've shit in our own bed and we continue doing so. So now the only option is to sleep in it
Damn.
because we have no choice. Have a good
Nice.
day, everybody. Subscribe or your mom's a hoe.
Like the
I feel like
video
that's
and
a,
comment
that's a
down
really good
below.
ending of the video. I
Yeah,
thought that
pretty
was
good,
funny.
pretty good.
Again, like I've seen, this is probably episode 36 of this video. I've seen it many times before.
Yeah.
This was
All the arguments. Let's face it. Who did not know a single argument here? We all know the deep inspirational takes at this point.
not as bad as I thought it would be, especially for like a self-promo video. I think that, you know,
How
you're
is it
really
a
gonna
self-promo
always, you're gonna
video?
get the gamers riled up. You're gonna get them, you know, out for blood, you know, ready to go to war. But the truth is, like, I mean,
It
it's
works.
just- I don't really think that anything's gonna change until you have like regulation or something. Like, you have to have regulation. If you can't do that, then no.
No one's gonna regulate it until their kid, like, I don't know, takes the newest Amaranth experience and completely does something insane with it. Anyway, a like and subscribe and comment down below. I'm out.